A restless devil waking within. Cold are the walls, black is the air. Something is breathing my name in despair. Shadows are crawling out of the flame, twisting my thoughts till I'm not the same. Eyes in the void, teeth in the night, calling me down where the dead learn to fight. It's not the dark, it's what it knows. It feeds on the fear that inside me grows. A whisper, a chain, a venomous spark. The fear of fear in the heart of the dark. The magic of the darkness, a spell that drags me under the grave. The magic of the darkness turns every coward into a slave. No holy fire, no warning light can save my soul from the jaws of the night. The magic of the darkness lies where I break and where I crave. I ran from the silence, I ran from the screams, but terror was hiding inside of my dreams. The deeper I fled, the deeper it grew. A kingdom of black that was bleeding right through. My pulse like a hammer, my breath like a blade. I'm trapped in the altar that panic has made. No face in the mirror, no God in the sky, just the sound of my spirit refusing to die. It's not the dark, it's what it shows. The grave of the weakness nobody knows. A whisper, a chain, a venomous spark. The fear of fear in the heart of the dark. The magic of the darkness, a spell that drags me under the grave. The magic of the darkness turns every coward into a slave. No holy fire, no warning light can save my soul from the jaws of the night. The magic of the darkness lies where I break and where I crave. Raise the iron, break the curse. Blessed by pain, but haunted worse. If I must fall, I'll fall with rage. A beast unbound, a soul in chains. From the ashes of dread I rise, with blood red stars in my eyes. If darkness wants my final breath, I'll make it choke on living death. Carved in broken glass, a wound that time refused to have. No voice, no head, no human light, just the taste of rust and endless nights. I fed my heart to vacant walls and watched it rot behind my eyes. This loneliness, a butcher's grin, it chewed the marrow from within. Now all I am is skin and bone, a king of ruin. Like second skin, let all the sickness settle in. Every memory turned to mold, every prayer died black and cold. There's no salvation in these veins, only ghosts and self-inflicted chains. I touch my face, it falls away, a funeral mask of slow decay. This loneliness, a hollow knife, it peeled the meaning from now. All I know, all I can be, is this collapsing thing staring back at me. I see nothing but the fragile horror of my face, a monster bending over its own grave, tearing itself apart with grace. This loneliness has made me vile, turned every breath into denial. I am the rot, I am the stain, the beast that feeds upon its pain. If there was love, it drowned in me. If there was hope, I let it bleed. I built a tomb behind my teeth and laid my soul beneath the sheets. Now every scar becomes a mouth, every thought just drags me down. I am not living, I remain a body learning how to hate. Peel it back, show me what's left. No pulse, no peace, no pity in this chest. I am the sickness, I am the end, a lonely creature wearing human skin. Break, bend, collapse again. I watch myself decay in cold and I see nothing but the fragile horror of my face, a monster kneeling in the cell, still clawing deeper into shame. This loneliness has made me blind, it left no mercy in my mind. I am the rot, I am the chain, the mouth that whispers my own name. And in the end, when all the lights are smothered out, I'll face the only thing I made, this fragile monster of fear, of flesh, of self-decay. steals my soul in pieces now, and leaves me wearing its name. I'm becoming the hate. I'm becoming the hate. There are caverns in my mind where light has never learned to stay. Only endless twisted corridors where conscience rots away. I hear it laughing in the dark, a second heart, unclean. It beats against my broken ribs like a godless machine. I tried to bury it in shame, I tried to drown it in despair, but every wound became a gain. Now it's everywhere. The deeper that I cut it down, the higher that it stands. A towering thing built out of spine, with my soul in its hands. It wears the face I fear the most, the one I prayed I'd never know. A stranger born beneath my skin, fed by the hell I let it grow. I'm becoming the hate. I swore I'd never be a hollow king of violent thoughts, crowned in my own misery. This thing inside me runs and runs. I can't hold the chain. It steals my soul in pieces now, and leaves me wearing its name. I'm becoming the hate. Who is this creature in my chest? Who taught it how to speak like me? Why does it grin through my own mouth like I am just its memory? I feel my mercy turning black. I feel my tenderness collapse. I am watching from behind my eyes as something else takes all I am. I never wanted this. I never wanted this face. I never wanted this hunger. I never wanted this name. Run, run, it never stops. It tears through every human thought. Breathe, scream, it eats the light. It turns the weak into the knife. I feel it clawing through the bones. I hear it calling from below. No lane, no cure, no God, no God. Just a beast I built from being alone. I'm becoming the hate. I swore I'd never be the final wound, the final truth, the death of what was left of me. This thing inside me runs and runs, and now I know its face. It is the part of me that lives too long inside the grave. I'm becoming the hate, and it's taking my soul to the end. At the end of all my darkness, at the end of all my pain, I did not find a savior. I found a thing in chains, and when it finally broke them, it looked at me and smiled. You spend your whole life fearing me. I was always your other moment I was lighter, like the chains that left my skin, like the poison in my bloodstream. Had forgotten where I've been. Even silence felt like mercy. Even voice stuck in my lungs felt clean. Oh, and I almost heard a future calling softly through the dream. I closed my eyes, I let it go. I felt the dying inside me slow, and I could breathe like I was never born in pain. Like all the shadows left my name. Like I could live, like I could walk the line again. But freedom came too soft, too thin, just a borrowed spark beneath my skin. There was a sweetness in the fracture. There was a calm inside the split. Like two halves of me stopped fighting and forgot the taste of it. I thought maybe I was healing. Maybe something dark had died, but deep below that quiet feeling, I could feel it bide its time, and I could breathe like I was never born in pain. Like all the shadows left my name. Like I could live, like I could walk the line again. But freedom came too soft, too thin, just a borrowed spark beneath my skin. Just for a second I was free. Just for a second I was me. Then something moved beneath the peace, and I remembered it never leaves. After the smoke, after the strain, after the war inside my brain, I saw your face, a sacred blaze, a quiet sun through ruined days. One look and all the dead and air turned into something I could bear. For one brief breath, my cursed life almost loosened from the knife. But love arrived where fear still fed, through hollow bones and sleepless dread. And all the loneliness in me turned your heaven to a thing I'd grieve. I loved you from the very first sight, but I was too broken to walk to the light, too full of shadows, too numb to speak. to reach the light. You were the calm I'd never known, a warmth untouched by the grave I'd grown. But something monstrous in my chest kept turning hope into unrest. I felt it twisting every word, making tenderness feel absurd. So I stood still while time moved on and watched my only future gone. I wanted more than just to stare, to touch your hand, to say stay there. But all my darkness learned to do was make me disappear from you. I loved you from the very first sight, but I was too broken to walk to the light, too full of shadows, too numb to speak, too torn apart, too hollow, too weak. So I lost you before I could begin. My fear closed the door, my silence locked me in. And now your name burns soft and white, like the life I saw, too late to reach the light. What hurts the most is knowing you're leaving. It's knowing love was finally breathing right in front of these dying eyes, and I let it pass like every good thing dies. Not because you failed me, not because you turned away, but because the ruin inside me would not let me stay. I loved you from the very first sight, and maybe you could have pulled me from the night. But I was a wound that could not heal, a heart too buried to be real. So I lost you before I said your name. And now I carry both the love and blame. You were the door, the dawn, the height, and I was the darkness, too late to reach the light. You were not mine, you were my maybe, and that is why it kills me daily. I had no courage, but you did. You stepped inside the smoke I lived in, past the ruin, past the dread, past the war inside my head. You saw a fire under fear, a heart still trembling somewhere here. And with one look you made me feel like something broken could be real. You were brave for both of us when I was nothing but retreat. And for one sacred, fatal moment, love and ruin learned to me. began to loosen in your gaze. I thought no hand could reach this far, no light could cross a wound so large. But you moved through me like a prayer and made the dead still wanna care. What I gave had no disguise, no hidden scales, no sharpened knives. I loved you like a final truth, like the last clean thing I could still prove. We had enough to make it last, a future rising from the past. Two shattered souls, one silent flame, one trembling place to put our names. You were brave for both of us, and I believed the night could end, that what was starved and torn for years could still be held, could still be mended. You were brave for both of us, and I was foolish enough to trust that being seen meant being loved, not measured, used, and turned to dust. But love becomes a crueler thing when one heart gives and one heart weighs. Mine came open, yours came hungry. Mine was blood and yours was trade. I brought you every fragile room, every wound beneath the skin. You took the gold that still was left and left the hollow shell within. I was precious while I carried what your emptiness could feed, only worthy while I gave more than any soul should bleed. Then the moment I had less, the moment weakness showed its face, you let me fall without a sound, like something worthless, stained, erased. You were brave for both of us, but not in the way I believed. You were brave enough to enter me, not brave enough to stay and mean it. Used, there is no softer word, not lost, not left, not merely hurt. Used like warmth in winter hands, then dropped when spring touched different skin, and that wound cut deeper than goodbye, deeper than betrayal ever could, because you reached the purest part of me and taught it was not enough. Now I live with what remains, a cracked out heart, a borrowed name, a faith so broken by your leaving, even mercy feels like shame. The cruelest truth was never this, that you were false or love could end. It was learning without what I had. I had no value in your hands. You were brave for both of us, when I was all fear and night, when I could only love in silence, and you walked straight into the fire. You were brave for both of us, and that is why it hurts this way. You reached the soul I never showed, and taught it was made to break. You were brave for both of us, but I was not the one you saved. I had no courage. You had enough for two, but courage without mercy can still destroy what it walks through. And now the deepest wound I bear is not that you let go, it's that you saw all I could be and still left me below. wasn't over. It was only where it began. Then came the threats, the cold demands from the ruins of a broken man. What I called love became a weapon. What I trusted turned to blame. Every promise rotted inward. Every touch returned in shame. It was a setup dressed like mercy, a perfect wound prepared for me. And now I pay in bloodless silence for all I thought love meant to be. Beaten down by what I worshipped, humbled lower than the dust. Still I keep one spark alive in the graveyard of my trust. Because somewhere in this wreckage, something whispers it's not true, that this horror is a fever that I will wake and come back through. So I close myself away, deeper, darker, day by day, telling my heart this is only a dream, only a nightmare tearing at the seams. If I stay still, if I don't break, maybe the truth will finally shake. Maybe the monster I fear inside will never rise, will never take my life. Maybe it's only a dream. I wear the silence like a bandage, though it never stops the stain. Every word I never answer turns to iron in my veins. You made me kneel inside my own name, made me doubt what I had seen. Now I live between the bruises and the ghost of what love means. There are When you threaten something split my heart. But if I sleep long enough in this scream, maybe I wake and it was only a dream. And it was only a dream. When you left, it was the start. When you threatened, something split my heart. But if I sleep long enough in this scream, maybe I wake and it was only a dream. This pain is far beyond a wound. It fills the walls, it kills the room. It presses nails into my chest. It will not stop, it will not rest. I gave my heart, I gave my trust. I gave the gold beneath the dust. And now I kneel where love decayed, a shaking wreck of what it made. One more memory dressed in light. One more echo of your name falling like ash into my veins. The loneliness, the slow abuse, the way I was consumed, reduced. I feel it all at once too deep. A grief so wide it will not sleep. So I beg the dark, not for glory, not for grace. Just let this torment lose my throat before it wears my face. Please make it stop, please quiet this pain. I cannot hold this flood again. I'm cracked in half, I'm on my knees, begging the night for one release. Because if I live through all of this, if I keep breathing in the abyss, the thing I fear beneath my skin will wake, and I will become it. I hear it moving in the blood, fed by sorrow, fed by love, fed by every time I broke and swallowed every word like smoke. It knows the ruin, knows the shame. It answers softly to my name. A second self without remorse, a starving heart with too much force. I used to think that pain would end, that even hell itself could bend. But this is something colder still, a grief that comes back for the kill. Not just because you turned away, but because you made me feel that all I was worth your hands only while I had something to give. Now I'm crying out with what little voice remains. Don't let this agony become a body made of rage. Please make it stop. Please quiet this pain. I cannot bear this weight again. I have been used. I have been torn, left in the dark where hate is born. Because if I live through all of this, if I keep drowning in the abyss, the thing I fear beneath my skin will rise, and I will become it. Hear me now. I am not strong tonight. Hear me now. I am all fracture, all fright. Hear me now. I am sobbing in the rain. Hear me now. I am begging through the pain. Don't let it breathe, don't let it feed, don't let it wear what's left of me. Don't let it take my final name. Just hold it down, just stop this Because I know what waits below. I've felt its pulse, I've heard it grow. The one I feared my whole life through, the one betrayal finally drew. And I would rather break right here than let that shadow fully clear. Because once it steps into the light, there will be nothing left to fight. Please make it stop. Please quiet this pain. I cannot survive this storm unchanged. I've lost my love. I've lost my ground. I've lost the mercy I once found. And if I keep breathing through this ache, if no hand comes before I break, the monster buried in my grief will tear through me and never leave. So here I am, undone, awake, hands on the wound, begging it not to break. Not for heaven, not for escape, just keep me human before the monster then loneliness began to shape a face beneath my human skin that only pain could disappear. You broke me slow, you broke me well. You taught my heart to live in hell. You took the last clean thing I had and made it kneel and made it beg. The fear, the shame, I used the blood. The silence choking in the flood. All of it sank below my name, and there it built a mouth of flame. That is how monsters start. Not in fury, but in scar. Not in hunger, but in grief. With no hands to stop its teeth. Monster. Now all the evil in me rises. Monster. Built from love, betrayal, violence. Monster. This is what the broken become when every wound is left to rot. You made a grave inside a man, and now the grave has learned to walk. I hear the No faith remains. Just a rage made out of human pain. No love, no light, no saving hand. Just everything to suffer and play. Look what you made, look what survived.